Boom. Come on. Don't get cute.
Ring, ring, ring. Hello.
Be respectful.
Ring, ring, ring. Hello, priest, and welcome back
Good.
to Krown's magical
You're almost there.
Doom Cave.
Oh, we fucking did it. No Simpson virgins today. Get the fuck out of here. No girls allowed in this goddamn cave because we have very serious matters to get to today with this magic internet money business. As you already know, Bitcoin, the magic internet beans, is doing all sorts of nothing in the last 24 hours. Actually, this is a major setup right here, of course. And there's actually humongous edges on both sides of this current range. But with that said, I believe today is going to be the day of resolution, or at least if it's not, then that's going to be relatively concerning for Bitcoin boo laws right here. We got about 24 hours to go for the next few signals to kind of occur. And with that in mind, let's prepare for the day to come. And I should turn off the alerts right now. And Scott Barney, not number one no more. BK has beaten him off, baby. And I fucking love it, my friend. I fucking love it. There we go. We'll get into that a little bit later. I do want to get through this first and foremost. And let's see what we got going on over here on the Krown Chain application, which we found at app.krown.net. And what do we see? We see pretty much all the same things that we have been seeing over this past week or so. So not too much to update right there. Global market cap is actually continuing on with, or actually no, it's pretty much flat from yesterday to today. And I suppose this would be a good time to just go into the market data tab and see if we have anything new over here, of which not really, in fact. Global funding rate still about 0.01, nothing too crazy right there, just par for the course. And we do see that global open interest rate still continuing with the upside. Or sorry, with the move to the upside right there. So this move is still supported with positions being added. So that is, more or less good. But we are kind of splitting hairs right now because realistically now we do need to see results. Otherwise, this is going to start to look a little bit like a potential short-term trappy situation. Not saying that we have any major, massive downside just yet, but there is going to be opportunities on the other side, of course. So with that said, I think it's time to get in the price action charts right now. And this might be even a bit of a shorter stream today. Perhaps we'll even just go for an hour. So let's see what we got right on over here. I see Nimbo in the chat. I see GoHands Mom. I see BG. What's up, fellas? Burnt Krem, how you doing? Oh, he's got the unicorn emojis there too. All right, so let's start off with the most important thing to be aware of as of right now. Bitcoin's still within the current short-term time frame range, which is between what? Which is between about, if I throw in my drawing tools right on over here, our bottom side area right around about 44.7. Just a couple days ago, not yesterday, but the day prior to that, the 10th actually of August, that spike low at 44.700, let's just call it right there. In our current high side range, about 44.5, or sorry, 46.5, that is. Big misnomer right there. But ultimately, as long as Bitcoin is essentially maintaining above the 10th of August lows, I do still look at this as more or less a bullishly infused consolidation. And I'm very inquisitive of a lot of the people that I see, especially in like the Discord and whatnot. And of course, everyone's like free to voice their opinions and and everything. But I'm always like a bit impressed as to why people are looking for looking for just an uptrend, looking for an uptrend to short into. I mean, obviously, it feels really, really good to catch the quote unquote top. But for right now, if you are trading to the downside, I think that there's a very easy setup right here below the 10th of August low. However, until that happens, this is still just an uptrend on pretty much all time frames that matter, even the lower term time frames. Oh, and there he is. God damn it, Scott Barney. All right, Bitfarms. Actually, that one, I do remember that one. Way back when, man. All right, so let's get through this right now. So as long as Bitcoin is essentially maintaining above that prior low, or if you just even want to be using the daily 200 symbol right here, which is the white moving average at about 45,200 or so, Bitcoin will inevitably actually get a golden cross on the daily right here, which is a rather powerful time frame. Now, obviously, we did point out that the 12-hour did confirm the same cross yesterday, intraday. And while this is coming down a little bit in the intra hours, I don't look at that as anything too problematic overall. If this does come down, I actually would look for a straight line to about the 21 exponential average right here on the 12-hour. Looking at the daily, however, as long as Bitcoin holds sideways, we will inevitably be getting this cross. And we do get that cross, I'd be looking for any sort of downside movement anywhere between about 42 to 43,000 bucks to get bought back on up and very likely march on to our upside target of 50,000 bucks. However, as long as Bitcoin again is maintaining above 2 days ago low, again the 10th of August low, I essentially look for this price action to put in yet again another higher low and continue on with the short-term uptrend. It is very, very extended right here, obviously, and at some point we will get a nice pullback, but I'm not necessarily convinced that we have it just yet. So let's go into our short-term time frame momentum oscillator and see where we're kind of situated at right now. As we do see that 4-hour BBWP is actually on the floor, as you can see. Actually, no, this is not BBWP. This is actually HVP right here. Credit to the man himself. Anyways, what do we have? What sort of a setup do we have? Well, when volatility is coming down within the context of an uptrend, which we have right here, and actually maybe a little bit better to see on spot price action. Yep, we still do have higher lows. Then that does imply that it is very likely a very likely healthy consolidation within the context of that trend. So that means trend continuation, and trend continuation within the context of an uptrend is probably, more upside. And in this case, where do we see our short-term time frame momentum oscillator situated at? 4-hour will be twisted back up, actually with any sort of a closure above 46.4. So we actually do need to see results pretty much today, actually, above, our current closing highs, even on the short-term time frames, to get that next move somewhere around about 49,000 to 50,000 bucks, basically in reference to yesterday's shorts video that I uploaded a little bit later. Basically based off, most of the same things. Anyways, 3-hour, I believe, is showing about the same thing as well. Yep, 46,400 as well. So we got two things coming in on the same side. Buy hourly is going to show a little bit higher, 46,550, and hourly is going to be showing 45,400, actually picking it up right now from a relatively low level, and we see a bit of expansion already. So we want to see that hourly lead into the other short-term time frames up to the 4-hour, and then yes, I probably would be looking for that expansion with trend continuation to the upside. Target's going to be 49,000 to 50,000 bucks, and I would be looking for a greater pullback right there. This price action is pretty cooked up right now, because make no mistake about it, even the medium and especially the higher term timeframes are, relatively hot right now. We see 12-hour Stokes going to be heading down as long as below 46,650. So yes, if Bitcoin does essentially make a new high above our current consolidation, it will twist it back up, but I suspect that we probably don't have too much more on this move before a little bit of a greater pullback. Where could that pullback come in around? It depends where we first top out at. So I will not be really judging pullback targets until we get that next high. We can talk about, potential scenarios with that, obviously, to set it up, but I suspect that we're probably going to have, at least another day anyways, if it even is going to happen at like the shortest minimum time. So with that in mind, daily is going to show about the same thing as well. 46,550 will be twisting to the downside, as you can see. Buy daily is going to show what? 43.3. So that one's actually probably staying up for at least another day. And 3 days going to be showing 44,000 bucks as well. Not closing today, but closing tomorrow actually. And we do see that the weekly will be closing, of course, for CME tomorrow as well. And this is actually healthily nice and up. So short-term pullbacks very likely do get bought back on up. And as I've kind of made my thoughts clear on that one, anywhere between about 41.5 to 42.5 is kind of where I'd be looking for on a greater pullback. But short-term, just 43 to 42,500 actually, depending upon whether we can hold the 10th of August low or not. For right now, I do give the Bula still the nod. And while this price action does look, very, very aggressive right here, I'm always happy to go with the former trend until proven otherwise. And with that said, if we do take out the 10th of August low, again, I would be looking for a little bit more than $1,000 continuation, somewhere between about 43.5 to 43 even, and then very likely another bounce right there. So that's kind of the two things that I'm considering right now. But assuming that we do choose the upside resolution on this one, which I do still think is a little bit more likely right here, to be honest with you, I would be looking towards the same targets that we've been having, like I've been saying. Anyways, it's best to be seen right on over here on our CME chart. We see the 618 Fibonacci retracement from a bear trip, from a bear trip, that is from the ultimate high to the ultimate low, or not the ultimate low, but the current low of this consolidation at about 48,500 or so, and that does fulfill the gap from May 14th as well, between there and about 49,000 bucks. So overall, I would be looking at that as a nice and obvious place for a greater pullback to emerge from. We even see the daily, not the daily, but the 12-hour, and let's see where the daily is as well. They're actually very, very close to each other right here. Daily topside trolling band is actually right in line with that area as well, and that would be right below, or actually right above 49,000 bucks, 49 and some odd change. So that would be my first sort of look on this one. However, if Bitcoin can start to close a daily or especially a higher term time frame above the $50,000 pivot, I would be looking for Bitcoin to actually go on for a little bit more of a parabolic blow, like a short-term parabolic blow off top, into the mid 50s, probably 55,000 bucks gets tagged at that point, and then play out a pullback. And the pullback target will likely be more shallow than what we did, or than what we would expect if Bitcoin tops out, obviously at 49 or 50,000 bucks, and especially if it tops out, currently where we're at right now. If it does hit 50,000 bucks or 49,000 bucks, as I think is probably most likely, I would be looking for a pullback down to about 42.5 to 43,000 bucks, and that very likely is the next higher low. Remember it's not that it should say that it's very likely the next higher low. It's just let's just talk what that is based off of. The hash ribbons indicator over here, of which I've gone through this a million times. Definitely watch the long-term analysis video that I uploaded on Sunday called "The Low Is In." A little bit of a clickbait title right there, but I do explain my reasoning for that. And anytime that we have seen this blue buy signal, the prior daily low has been essentially the macro low before and never getting tested again pretty much ever on a daily closing basis, except for one iteration out of, I believe it's 15 or 16. On average, however, Bitcoin does typically come back down around that prior low and test on average about 7% within there, in fact. So if we were to test between about 7% of our current, higher low before that blue buy signal was printed, where that come in around, well, I suspect that would come in around, well, it wouldn't be right there. Let's actually see what 42 would look like. 42 would show about 10%. That's actually rather in line with what we have seen historically speaking, but even a little bit lower than that would probably be the 41.5 area, which is also our weekly 21, I believe, too, and that actually would be right on the dot for 7. Doesn't need to be exactly that, obviously, but overall, I'd be looking somewhere right around there with the interpretation, or at least with the bias, that I'd be looking for a higher low there first and foremost. That also implies that if Bitcoin does break below $38,000, I don't think that this is, the most likely thing to happen right now, but this would imply that if Bitcoin were to break below that, we have some nice downside to talk about after that. Very, very good trade setup all the way down to about 33, maybe 33,500-ish region. I would be looking for another potential low being put in that region as well. So with all of that in mind, the setups are there, a little bit more waiting, I do suspect, but I also am looking for a resolution very likely today if it is going to be to the upside. If Bitcoin fails to break to the upside today, I probably would start to gear my probabilities towards the downside a little bit more likely in that event. Anyways, with that in mind, we should bring up the good old moons over here because they're just hilarious, and they've been funnily enough working. And what do we have? We have a bear moon as of pretty much the current high. I mean, we did print a slightly higher high as far as a wick basis goes yesterday, the day prior to that. But overall, this has been relatively consistent for the past, going all the way back on over, especially to October 2020. So almost for a full year straight. Before that, not so much. Although, you be the judge of that. I mean, it ain't too bad right there, to be fair. So, at the end of the day, these are sort of things that I think are fun to talk about, but probably wouldn't be putting my, base my whole trades into them. Although someone brought up a great quote yesterday. I believe it was Sanctum in the Discord. Something along the lines of, millionaires don't use astrology, billionaires do, by JP Morgan, which doesn't really make sense to me because JP Morgan is, that's a company, but maybe they're referencing the person. I don't know. Anyways, with all that said, again, it's more or less the same things today. So that's why I do suspect that the stream might be a little bit on the shorter side. We can go check out a few altcoins, or perhaps it would be better use of time to go check out traditional markets. In fact, so, let's do that right now. Let's go look at NASDAQ futures and see what we're working with. Again, same thing over here. It is still working on higher lows. I wouldn't necessarily get too bearish on this, especially as long as you're above 14,950. We did hit our pullback target from yesterday's video to $15,000. In fact, actually overshot a little bit about on a closing basis, pretty much right on the nail right there. And I still do look at this as an uptrend. I mean, this is not like too concerning just yet. We do probably have bearish evidence come off that last high, but has that already played out? I mean, the easy target down to the 21 certainly has. So if we do get any sort of a, if we do actually start to break structure here, then yes, we do probably have a nice move down to about 14,600. But there actually are a few concerning things here, to be fair. Daily Jewel is actually giving us a pretty damn good short signal right there. Let's see, do we see a similar thing on Bitcoin? I'd expect to see something relatively similar, maybe on a shorter term time frame, like a 4-hour. Yeah, actually we do. We see 4-hour Jewel giving a pretty damn good short signal. However, I do not see AutoFib supporting just yet. So that would be rather concerning. So if we do see expansion on BBWP from this very, very low level, that would have a very obvious target down to about 43,000 or so first before the next general bounce, and then potentially down to the $42,000 target. So the setup is there for both sides, but I still do, one of my personal rules is I always run with the trend until proven otherwise. And in this case, you have a very easy way to kind of be documenting that. Where's your last higher low? On a closing basis, it's going to be about $45,000. On a wick basis, it's going to be about 44,663 on BitMexico right here. Either one of those is good enough. However, typically a closer basis is going to be a little bit more dependable in my experience. And I would be looking for a $1,000 to $1,500 dump at minimum, and then see where we kind of end up from there. But again, as long as Bitcoin's holding, as long as Bitcoin's holding that 10th of August low, I do still look at this as more or less good, more or less constructive. And with daily RSI looking the way that it does, I see no major issues with this. I just look at this consolidation within the bullish control zone. This is actually relatively healthy, all things things considered. So, these are actually kind of like a trader's paradise right now, because there is setups on both sides and they're pretty fucking easy to get. And we could also just say just as simply as the day prior, that any sort of a move back above yesterday's high, not the 10th of August, but actually the 11th of August, yesterday this is, which is 46,814 on BitMexico, by the way, then I would be looking for that continuation move to the upside. Either that or, as we identified earlier, with a closing high above about 46.4 or so, which actually would put us on new highs here on a closing basis, and also turn momentum oscillators to the upside on a short-term time frames we identified way back on over here, which actually CME and all spot exchanges are kind of in line with each other. Again, just briefly perusing it, 46.4 for CME. I just want to double check that CME is basically the same. Yeah, 3 hours is going to show the same thing as well. Buy hourly is going to show 46.6, a little bit higher right there, and hourly is going to show 45.5 or so. So we do see that, we do see pretty much good confluence between the two right there. It is Thursday after all, so they've been trading, amongst each other for the last 4 days now, I suppose. So yes, they do come into parity typically by Tuesday, actually. So that is all good in the hood. Oh, I see you, Mr. Paranoid. Intro is genius, my fucking man. Make it an NFT Dixie, please. We can actually. This would be a good time to look at Dixie as well. I'm sure that everyone's going to bring up the Dixie correlations, but Dixie dumped too. What the fuck? What the fuck's going on right here? To me, if anything, and I actually don't believe what I'm about to say this next second, but if anything, I would say that Dixie and Bitcoin are not negatively correlated. They would be positively correlated. This last major move right here happened pretty much at the same time. Hey, what about this move over here from January of 2021 all the way to April 2021? That was when Dixie was putting in the lows over here and putting in a very, 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 very nice rally. And Bitcoin went fucking parabolic above 20,000 bucks all the way to 65,000 bucks. That's craziness. But no, the evil bankers, the evil feds, and the evil dollars can never be trading with Bitcoin. That could never happen. Or maybe this is a fucking phantom that no one should, that really doesn't hold all that much weight if you're looking at Bitcoin specifically. Hey, if you're trading Forex, fuck yeah, this is a great thing to be referencing, especially if you're trading, US dollar pairings, and you kind of want to get a general gauge of the strength of the market. But I suspect that a lot of people put way too much weight on this and give it way too much due compared to like what it's actually worth, at least in my opinion. I mean, hey, that's just my opinion, I suppose. Anyways, I do want to go back on to Bitcoin just quickly here. Let's go back to the index chart and let's see what do the higher term timeframes look like right now. 5-day, not closing tonight, but closing tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Still more or less fine. I don't have any major issues with this side. Was completely fine, especially above 41.5, which would be an obvious buy if it comes back down around there at the very least for a goddamn bounce. Weekly, same thing. Actually, weekly 21, even below that 40,300 or so. Where's a 5-day? Oh no, it's actually even lower than that. 140. Very interesting. Wasn't expecting that right there. Was expecting to be a little bit higher than that. And bi-weekly is actually be closing at the end of this week as well. We do have hidden bullish divergence on that last, on our last low right there. You have already hit the easy move on this one. Next technical target would be about 49,000 to 50,000 bucks. With that said, I think it's time to get into the chatties here. Maybe I should set up some alerts just in case we actually do see something of interest here. Oh, she's coming down. She's going to be testing it. Are we going to get it on stream? Is it going to happen right here, right now? Might just happen, man. Might just fucking happen. All right, I'm gonna go over to the chatties here. I'm gonna turn on the alerts as well, and let's see what we got going on for the early morning hours. Okay, let's see. All right. Okay, so BK's first. GHST BUSD 4-hour daily weekly. Okay, no problem. GHST BUSD. Here we go. What's this one doing? Given a little bit of a short-term pullback right here. Yes, I do expect that this will actually pull back a little bit further just based off the daily. I would be looking for to retest its prior low from 9th of August, but I look at this as a very healthy consolidation actually. Still operating on higher lows, and more importantly, as long as you're above the 21 in this case, probably going to do something like this, or at least that'd be my first interpretation of it. But yes, short-term is down. I would be looking for this one, probably coming back down somewhere around about 177, maybe as much as 175 or so. But again, this is one of the better charts as far as altcoins go. I really want to be very directly clear with that because I'm just not going to hate a chart that looks like this, to be fair. So we'll just leave it right there. I think you also asked about maybe an hourly. No, 4-hour daily weekly. Not really too much to talk about on a weekly right here. I mean, it's a little bit too young in its altcoin life to give too much weight to. Maybe like a 3-day could give us something. No, not really. If anything, short term, a little bit of sideways within the concept of a 3-day. So that probably takes another, I don't know, probably another week or so going sideways here, and then maybe as an upside resolution coming into like later this month or so. We are in the second week of August now, so we're probably about 2 weeks away, probably like one of the last weeks of August, if anything. But short term, yes, is down. However, I would be looking for this one to try front of the low somewhere within that region. If that area does fail, I would be looking for it to come all the way down to about 166 or so. But overall, again, make no mistake about it, this is still more or less fine, at least in my eyes. Depending upon your sort of time frame that you're looking at right there, which it sounds like you might be a little more long-term minded. So, my main point is it's probably gonna be a little bit boring, but sideways is good on that one. And I would be considering any sort of a move back above yesterday's high, the 11th of August, actually, as an upside resolution, with very likely to be continuation back up to $2. And then, well, we can come back to it after that. I just don't think that's happening anytime soon, to be 100% directly clear. And there he is, Mr. Scott Barney, back in the house. Bitfarms, oh dear Lord. Okay, what's Bitfarms doing? Probably actually had a good time, all things considered, seeing as Bitcoin has kind of been leading the party. And look, hey, there you go. Not bad. Yeah, man. Actually pretty fucking good right there. Not bad at all. And I suppose, at least based off its name, I'm going to guess that this is a Bitcoin miner. So if it is a Bitcoin miner, then that's probably going to be good, as typically you do look for the miners to kind of, I wouldn't necessarily say lead price action, but you kind of want to see the miners doing well alongside price action on Bitcoin. At the same time, if the miners are doing poorly, that's typically not a great sign. And this one actually is having a change of behavior right here. The breakout is real. And yeah, I would actually be looking for this one to continue on with the rally. Weekly RSI back in the bullish control zone. Weekly Jewel with a bit of upside posturing, although a little bit too young in that one's life as well to really give any credence to. But yeah, a decent chart right here. And Jesus Christ, man, looks like shit over there, to be fair. But a very, but this breakout does look real, to put it bluntly. And I would expect a continuation. I don't really have any real targets for this, but what the hell, when I go to a 4 hour, I miss like half the chart. So something weird is going on here. I don't understand why the 4 hour is just like this. Actually, that is very bizarre. That's concerning, to say the least. Probably just an issue with trading, if I had to guess. Anyways, Bitcoin, oh baby, are we choosing the downside resolution right now? Could it be happening right in front of our very faces? It might just be. Paranoid says, Dixie. Oh yeah, we already looked at Dixie. Okay, so all good right there. Buried Alive, what's up, man? Good day, Krown sir. Good day to Mr. Barry, sir. Please read my baby coin ERSDL on the 4 hour and weekly, please. Okay. SDL. All right. What? Oh, this thingy again. All right. Let's check it out on Dogecoin. You're looking at a 4 hour and weekly. We're dancing naked on the long term. All right. Fair enough. Let's see. Weekly, I mean, does look okay, but there's really not enough history here to give it any like legitimate look, to be honest with you. Daily is fine. Daily looks like an actual breakout. Short term, 4 hour. 4 hours just higher lows as long as you're above about 28.5 cent. That is. I don't even necessarily think it's going to come back down around there, but if it does, that'd be an obvious bounce area, and there's really nothing bearish about this thing as long as you're above that region. I would be looking for general trend continuation, probably not today, but into next week, and I would be looking at your prior ICO. What is this? ICO, 40 cent high right here on a closing basis as like a natural, as a natural target. Above there, things can get a lot more crazy, but I'll take it one step at a time here. It is an altcoin after all, and you never know with these things, especially if Bitcoin does dump out. I would be interested to see what something like this does, but for right now, looking very, very good. And it is a bit concerning to me that we did see a lot of the shit coins, a lot of the gutter coins yesterday rally. So if you do want another point in the barrel's court here, it would be very easy to kind of pin that on something like Dogecoin, which once that thing starts to go, that's usually a bad sign. That's usually a bad sign. But for right here, how high did we get yesterday? Oh my God, we didn't just hit the 28 cent target. We smashed it up to 29.5 cents. Jesus Christ. Powerful Dogecoin. Not the best sign for the overall market, but F4 is actually still okay there, so give it the benefit of the doubt, I suppose. All right, cool. Miguel says, hello, Krown. What's up, man? I'm struggling to properly identify divergences. Any easy tricks other than experience and practice to help me? Okay, so, well, the first easy trick is just characters RSI, because like I become very lazy with my divergence readings just by using that. Okay, if you're in the program, there's obviously the main module on RSI, but there's a bonus, but there's a bonus video, or it's actually part of like the regular program now too, just because it's so important, called Divergence Mastery. If you are in the program, definitely reference that, because it's go over all the different nuances. However, within the context of like a YouTube stream, when we only have limited time, it's going to be a little bit difficult to kind of go over all of the very nuanced nuanced situations that can happen. But basically, look, the main things and the main way that I see people get fucked up with divergences is that they do not, for the love of God, understand that divergences need to be confirmed, or sorry, need to only be considered when you have confirmed local lows or local highs. There is no other way to ever, for the love of fucking God, ever confirm divergences without local lows or local highs. So if you do not know how to identify local lows and local highs, basically understand trends, then yeah, well, first off, you probably should not be trading real money, and second off, you should definitely learn that before then applying divergences, because once you can understand that, divergences become very, very easy, right? Divergences happen whenever you see price action do something essentially obtuse to what the RSI oscillator is doing. So in the case of bearish divergence, price action makes new highs, but the RSI oscillator makes lower highs, and that tells you that the move is losing momentum. If the move is losing momentum, then you very likely do have another a little bit of a nice downside trade. However, I also see people get a mixed up with like hidden divergences, which should really be called continuation divergences, and regular divergences as well. Regular divergences only happen against the current trend. However, on the other side, hidden, or what they should be called continuous divergences, only happen on the same side as the current trend. So you can think of it that way as well. But again, usually people's issues come down to that one, as they just don't understand, or they just haven't learned how to identify like trends and local lows and local highs. But if you can do that, it's pretty simple after that. Anyways, also I trade on the Binance app. Oh, it sounds like you also do your charting there too. That's terrible. Sorry, man, I can't help myself right now. Look, if you're doing your charting on your fucking phone, man, I don't know if Binance is like a computer app. Binance? You trade on fucking Binance, man? Why? For the love of God, why? Holy shit, man. You don't have to do that. There's plenty of legitimized exchanges now. Anyways, look, if you're trading on your fucking phone, man, be careful. Just heart to heart, be careful, please. Is KDJ indicator reliable? Never used it myself. I can't speak towards its reliability or not. I don't happen to think I know anyone who uses it as their as their main indicator. So I have no opinion on that. But here's what I can tell you. What you can do is you can go ahead, back test it, see how the results have been in the past, then perhaps fill out a trade checklist and start to maybe trade a demo account, not on shitty ass Binance, sorry, on great, very highly esteemed Binance. Sorry again. And trade like a very low dollar amount or a testnet account or something like that, man, and see for yourself in front of you, because results at the end of the day matter more than anything else, obviously. Or I mean, I would assume for most people results are going to matter most. I mean, some people are like theory junkies, which is cool, if you want to like go and argue things at like a really boring party or something with like other traders, but I suspect that most people want results over like understanding the underlying very metaphysical type things going on. Anyways, ENM says, greetings, sir. Hello, sir. Semi long time. All good, my friend. All good. Semi first time. Hey, well, welcome for your first time. Cardano, quick long look. Yeah, and I got the feeling when it comes up that you don't love Cardano. I mean, that I don't like it. I know. Here's the thing. Okay, I am not a fundamental guy. I do not understand how to analyze things in like the proper fundamental way, especially for cryptocurrencies, which don't really have a good way to do that. But from the people that I trust too, it seems like the smartest people that I know think Cardano is mostly bullshit, and the maybe less inspiring people that I know, they seem to really, really like Cardano. That's just a general thing that I've seen. I'm not saying that that's true in every case, but as far as charts go, it has one of the better charts in cryptocurrency land. There's no fucking doubt about that. So I'm happy to analyze charts. I don't know about things fundamentally speaking. I'm just kind of parroting what the sort of concerns that I've heard from a lot of other people. I know that they've like been saying that they are going to have smart contracts for, I don't know, a year or something now, and at some point it's like, what do you have to show for your shit? Because we're definitely far along the timeline, or we're far enough along in the timeline of this, of this market being cryptocurrency, that you actually need, products and real results rather than just like promises and white papers. That was 2017 and 2016. I don't think we're in that phase any longer. But as far as charts go, it's still one of the better charts in cryptocurrency land. We do see hidden bullish divergence on the weekly RSI. So if you are looking for long term, we did hit our target at 190 from yesterday. So that is good. And a pullback here is to be expected. I mean, it could pull back down to like 169, 170, no problem. I'd have no major issues with that. Long term, however, I mean, look, if this thing closes above 175 by end of month, and it looks like it probably will, I'd be looking for a retest of prior all-time highs before, in like early Q4, and then probably new all-time highs around end of year, if that were to happen. And for what it's worth, this is good right here. There's not anything too concerning about this. Short-term pullbacks down to, 165 to 169 should get bought. Actually, sorry, more like 160 to 165. I apologize on that one, bit of a misnomer right there. And then I'd be looking for continuation probably a little bit later this month after a bit of a short-term pullback, however. But again, I don't know how long-term you are with that. However, you do also go on to say, is it that it sits between shitcoins and legit coins? Again, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really do my research into these sorts of things. I have no interest in like investing in them. As far as charting them, pretty simple to do. Plays rather technically, so that makes things easy. I definitely understand the allure when you see massive moves like this. And for what it's worth, a good chart typically does imply that the underlying technology is probably good because people are putting like actual money into it, and they're probably doing that because they actually believe, or at least that would be the synopsis of it. Anyways, usually good charts are for like good underlying assets. Like for example, Microsoft, right? Microsoft has been just straight up for. It's basically listed. So I kind of run with that sort of an interpretation of it. Take that as you will. But again, I am not equipped to analyze things fundamentally speaking. So you're asking the wrong person. I don't know is the right answer. J3F says Alpha USD 1 hour 4 hour daily. Much love to you as well, sir. All right, Alpha. Everyone's Alpha. Well, I'm Alpha, bro. I'm Alpha. Let's see. I always like it when people argue what's alpha or not on like online forums. I used to go to this forum called misc at bodybuilding.com, and people would ask like, guys, I told a girl I will not see her for another week and we will not be having sex tonight. Is that alpha? And it's like, no. And asking online is definitely not alpha. And what the fuck is wrong with you? Being judgmental today. Sorry about that, fellas. And also non-fellers, non-identifications of non-fellers. Looking good on this one, man. It's a little bit of a laggard here, so it's definitely not the most impressive chart of all time. But I am respectful of the higher lows as always, as long as this thing's above about 91 cents. I believe we looked at this one yesterday, and I said probably like literally the same thing. 91 cents would be my sort of backstop on that. Below there, yeah, things change around a little bit. Probably be looking for a move back down to about 86 to 87 cent, which was actually a rather big move on this one. But daily's fine, man. It broke above the last high of this consolidation range at 7th of July. I'd very likely be looking for this one to make a nice, nice move up, probably over the next week and a half to about 130, anywhere between there, which is your 200 simple, and also your May breakdown area is going to be a natural, is going to be kind of like a natural target for this one. Weekly, would like to see it close above the 21, which would be both in an open and closure. Could imply targets much higher over time, but I'd like to see it in real time first, at least for right now, man. Give it the benefit of the doubt. Lower term time frame is very constructive right here, and as long as this thing's in an uptrend, I kind of have the same thing to say as I did about Bitcoin. I understand that people want the sexy entry for the short and everything. Everyone wants to short the top, but at least in my experience, it's easier to short momentum rather than like the top, because you don't know that it's the top until the top is actually over, and then you typically get a nice move anyway. So that's one of the other diseases that I typically see, around just the general trading sphere. And the problem is because you'll see people now and then actually nail both the top and the bottom. And it looks really, really good, and they'll show like a really nice flashy P&L. But the problem is when you start to, search for bottoms, when you start to pick bottoms, as the saying goes, you get stinky fingers, right? Same thing for tops, although I don't have a good like little rhyme for that one, unfortunately. Anyways, back on a Bitcoin over here. We'll go back on to Mr. Chris. All right, Sir Krown, just regular Krown today. Hello, Mr. Sir Chris. Could you take... Doctor, it is Dr. Krown, sir. Could you take a look at XDC 4 on daily, please? Sure, man. All right, this one sounds familiar. I'm curious, did it have a... Oh, wait, hold on. XDC... Okay, so this is a Finex one. Oh, wow, powerful as all hell. Very powerful. I remember seeing this one a while ago, and it has a really good chart, and it's no surprise that this one continues on with the general uptrend. Powerful, man. Powerful. I don't think it's done here just yet. I'd be looking for daily BBWP to get to either very, very close to 100 percentile or hang around above 90%, 95 percentile, that is, for a few days. And then I'd be looking for any sort of signals of bearish divergence on the daily over here, which is not happening right now. To address our prior conversation with Miguel, could you look at this as divergence? Well, if you're just looking at the RSI, you're like, oh shit, we had a high right here, we have a lower high right here. It's definitely bearish divergence, short right now. But then you look at price action, that ain't a fucking local high. That's continuation. So that's the problem with pre-identifying, with preing all over your divergences, because what happens in these cases, you'll just end up selling every fucking drive to the upside when it's just a trend continuation, you know? So in this case right here, I'd be looking at BBWP and some sort of momentum oscillator, pair them up with each other. Once we start to see them kind of top out at more extreme levels, which we're not at just yet, I would be looking for a short-term top and probably still long-term continuation. I mean, this is one of the best charts in cryptocurrency land. I know there's a few other ones that have somewhat similar signatures to this over time. This is very, very impressive here. We actually can make a measured move on this one as well, because it is an ascending triangle at a very high level. It looks like I've already done it, and that would be pointed up a little bit further north, just shy of about 19 cents, between about 18.5 to 20 cents is probably where I'd be looking for this move, and then come back to it after that. But again, this is volume confirmation on an actual breakout. I mean, this is fucking textbook as it gets. This is very, 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 very lovely chart, and that's awesome, man. Because a lot of people that I see. And I don't want to feel like I'm talking down with people, so I do want to include myself in this as well, because I've definitely done this in the past. But a lot of people, for whatever reason, want to choose like the shittiest looking chart and then hope that number go up. But you look at something like that, and good charts typically get rewarded, and that is a very, 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 very good one long term. So very impressive. I don't know what the hell that thing is, but it's good. It's good from a charting perspective. All right, Justin Lane says, hello, sir. Krown, can we check out old Dogecoin? Oh, no, not my Dogecoins. Don't rub it in, man. I want that song, and I don't think I'm going to get that song. Yeah, that song's not happening anytime soon, that's for sure. Monthly still is pretty wrecked here, but this thing very likely does trade higher. So we hit our target from yesterday. What's the next sort of setup right here? Well, actually, the lower term time frame is a little bit more obvious on this one, because the daily looks actually like a high right there. But a pullback is to be expected after hitting a target like that. And now what do? Well, I basically just mark off the last daily high or low, which is about 25 cents, basically a quarter. So a nice round even number right there. And I look at that as essentially a nice healthy sideways consolidation. Probably not going to be resolved like right now, but over the next week or so, I probably would be looking for this one to continue on with the rally. Next sort of upside areas of interest are going to be okay, we've already hit about 30 cents. I'd actually be looking somewhere right around about 32.5 to 33 cents more long term on this one. Again, that is given as long as Dogecoin holds the last 4-hour high or low, which is 25 cents. We see a lot of good things going on over here. All major moving averages are in a bullish posturing, golden cross in 4-hour, and we do see hidden bullish divergence on the last low right here actually as well. So it's looking decent. Sideways and up is probably the name of the game on this one. Anyways, back on, or should we just leave it here? We'll just leave it here for now. Okay, cool. Fundamental EDU. Maybe this is the guy to ask about Cardano. Maybe you know about fundamentals, which actually, if you do know about Cardano, I'm curious, man. There's probably going to be like a whole holocaust of conversations in the comments if we bring up Cardano, because I know that one's a little bit polarizing. Like, some people feel very strongly that it's a piece of garbage, and some people feel very strongly that it's the next best thing, and we should all be balls deep inside Cardano, which maybe. Elsa goes, yes. SHIB on daily and 4-hour, please. Sure, sir. SHIB, I imagine that if Dogecoin's rallying, I'm curious to see if this one is as well. Yes, it is actually in a relatively similar manner. In fact, the 4-hour almost looks identical, but not as strong here. However, I'd expect that they more or less do the same thing. It looks like they do trade relatively well together. And I'd say the same thing about this one. Look, as long as you hold that last 4-hour high or low at 750, which is This is in dollars, so this is like a very low dollar amount. I think that's why people love it. I would be looking for a general sideways and up from there, but probably not today. Maybe over the next week or so. Next sort of general areas of interest to the upside are going to be actually significantly higher, somewhere right around 850, all the way from there to about 875 or so. Definitely not as strong as Dogecoin, if you can even make that statement, but it would definitely be relatively weak. This is still probably one of the worst charts we've seen today, actually, all things considered, like nowhere near its May breakdown levels, whereas the stronger ones are. So this thing can obviously pump, as typically the saying goes, the scams pump the hardest, but I'd just be aware of that it's kind of had its chance here, and it's not even falling as much as Dogecoin. So I don't know, man, if you do want to play the shit coins, Dogecoin probably a little bit of a better setup right here, to be fair. But yeah, man, I wouldn't necessarily be bearish on this as long as you're above, again, about 750 or so, that last 4-hour high or low right there. All right, cool. Dan Sholem says FSR on 4-hour and daily. I don't understand price action this week. Best of the best to you guys. Okay, cool. Let's see. Sometimes if you don't understand price action, there's no dishonor in just not trading it. But I'm guessing you're talking about this right here, Fisker, which is really good name. Okay, so I'm guessing they probably had earnings. I'm guessing that this is probably off of earnings right here. I mean, this would again be another example of like not the easiest chart. Long term on the macro, yes, you do have all these higher lows. It is relatively good, but not the most obvious one of all time. If this was earnings related, which I'm going to guess it very likely was, you might have a short-term downside move to like 17.5, but I do believe that the breakout is real. The volume signature is indicative of a change of behavior right here, and I'd very likely be looking for a continuation to your June highs at like 2020 or so. Above there, you can extend targets a little bit more towards $22, but for right now, man, looking at the weekly, I'd be favoring the upside right here. I understand that's not the most easy chart, but again, if you ever do feel that way, understand sometimes, or not sometimes, like if you don't feel that you have a good handle on price action, you don't have to trade it. You don't have to put you don't have to put good money into something that's less sure. Typically, in my experience, the best trades are the most obvious ones. I know that it's not anything sexy to say, but here I'll tell you this one right here that I always kind of pull back to is when I kind of first got out of Bitcoin after this monumental rally over here, I got out on the lower high at somewhere around $16,000 in 2017, or actually was this 2017 or 2018? Actually early 2018 right there. It wasn't the most sexy thing. I didn't short the ultimate top, but I did get out at a relatively good level long term. If you are long term considered, especially on a linear chart right there. Again, the most obvious trades are typically the best ones in my experience. That one would be it's somewhat obvious, and I would favor the upside right there. But I don't know the intricacies of that price action because I obviously don't follow that one myself. Anyways, oh man, Bitcoin got very, 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 very close right there. But are you going to hold it up or not, sir? Are you good or not? Is it fuck or not right now? That's what I need to know. All right, let's see. Mike Bolanos, what's up, sir? Harmony 1. Okay, 1 hour, 4 hour, daily, weekly. Okay, that's quite the spread right there. That's quite the spread, sir. All right, Harmony, looking good. Actually looking pretty damn good here. Yeah. I don't know if this one wants to continue today, but I always love this setup right here where you kind of hint at a death cross and then at the last second you pump right through. It's usually going to be a nice move like this. Now, the easy portion of that one's already played out, but I would have targets higher towards about 11 to 11.25 cents. And I do expect that you will head up there as long as you're above 86 cents, wherever the 200 simple is, which is actually rising to 86.5 cents now. I favor the upside here after just a short-term sideways. Let's see what the 4 hour looks like. 4 hours got higher lows, a little bit extended here to be fair. Does have some potential bearish divergence in progress here, but I'd be using the spike low actually in this case, just because I would give it a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, just because of the higher term time frames. And it is an altcoin, so they typically do trade a little bit more floaty. But in this case, 8.7 cents is kind of where we're looking for. It's also pretty much in line with where we just looked at on the daily. As long as you're above there, I'm looking for sideways and up. And I generally favor the upside on this one as well. It looks okay. It looks fine, man. We do have higher lows right here. We do have higher highs right here. Follow the trend. Let it be your friend. Still looking at 11 to 11.25. Probably over the next like a week or two. Let's see what the weekly looks like. Yeah, it's fine. Hidden bullish divergence. Actually, a couple drives on that last low back above the exponential right there. Could probably even extend targets more long term, but I'd like to see that first one hit. Anyways, let's see. Darren Garish, hello, sir. Metal. Oh yeah, Metal. So this was a 2017 shitcoin as well. I think they did like a crypto debit card or something, if I recall. And I guess they must have succeeded. Nope, they probably did not succeed with what they tried to do. I don't know, man. It does have that same sort of setup that we see on a lot of altcoins, but just speaking in relative terms here, this one's certainly relatively weak. Now that does not mean it's not going to go up. That's more of a function of whatever Bitcoin does, and you already know my thoughts on that. But not taking out its 2017 highs is not a sign of strength in my opinion at all. However, if we go down here to the daily, this is good. Is good. Same setup right here. It even got the death cross for a little bit. This would be a terrible example of one right there. Terrible. Gets a golden cross right on over here. Volume confirms, and we did hit our first June highs right there. Next sort of interim targets would be somewhere right around like 350 to 380. Kind of a widespread. Sorry, more like 365 to 380 or so. This looks good. I'd generally be looking for continuation here. Same sort of signature as we've seen on a lot of the other ones, but this one a little bit more impressive as far as that goes. Short term, could this thing come back down to like 250, 255 region? Yeah, no problem. But as long as it holds the higher lows right around here at about 230, 229. Fine, man. And yes, BBWP is like on the fucking ceiling right now. So I don't know if this one's just going to like continue exactly from this moment. Probably spends like a day or two going sideways, but overall good. Overall nice. Very nice move right there, actually. Very nice move. That's exactly, and this is like textbook for actually breaking above this would actually be kind of like your accumulation range on a higher low structure as well. So good. Very nice. Okay, cool. All right. Justin Tomiak. Elsa, tell him to watch the chart. Currently having a heart attack. Sir, get off the fucking 5 minute for the love of God. Oh man, you don't need to look at this bullshit over here. I mean, you can trade the 5 minute if you really want to. That's great. There's actually a lot of edge on this one too. But I don't know, man. If I showed you this chart, could you trade it? Probably yes. I think pretty simple one right there. Anyways, Pablo South. Oh, smash the likes and Nucor. I actually would appreciate it if you did take maybe just 1 second. If you do actually like this content, then perhaps I might remind you that if you do like the content, you could also like it on the YouTubes as well. It does quite help out. Don't feel obligated to, obviously. And whoa!
Smash it!
Yo! Okay, we are not like Nazis over here, sir. Anyways, Pablo South wants to look at EXK. So this is some sort of like silver thingy. Endeavor Silver Corporation. All right, let's see. What do we have here? Hourly and daily. All right. Daily is actually interesting here. We do have bullish divergence, so I do suspect that this bounce does carry it higher. Somewhere right around $5 is where I'd be looking towards. Let's see what the hourly says. Hourly agrees. We got a nice little gap right around actually 490. So maybe a short-term pullback right there, and then I'd be looking for it to pop up just north of $5, and then come back to it after that. Other than that, I don't have an opinion. Higher term timeframes are not the easiest right here. Yeah, I don't have any opinion on this one long term. If anything, this kind of does look like a macro top once again, but I'd hold off on like really saying that statement long term. Anyways, you didn't ask about the weekly, so maybe I'm just talking to myself right now. All right, and also Nucor. Okay, hourly and daily. Okay, let's see. Symbol NUE, I believe. Yes, indeed it is. All right, weekly looking very... Oh, Pablo! We've been watching this one for so long with you, sir. For so long with you, sir. What have you been saying the whole goddamn way through? Powerful fucking breakout. I think we identified this like months ago. Yeah, back in March. Now you're getting your results. So I just want to kind of take a second to dial this in. I know you didn't ask about these higher term timeframes, but we've been focusing on them anyways because that's been like the easy trade and the obvious trade in my opinion. And I just want to kind of dial this in for a second because this is a monthly. So this is taking great patience. But once you broke the highs over here on volume, this was, yes, it did make you wait a little bit, and you did get a retest, actually a pretty damn close retest in this case. But this is why I do why I kind of focus on something like that, like patience in this sort of scenario. I do really think is warranted because that is a fucking phenomenal move, and this is not very unlikely to stop here. I think we've had do I have targets here higher? I'm sure that I do. All right, well, let's just pull out the monthly, and we can do one really quickly. I mean, this is a nice ascending triangle reaccumulation, but we can just pull up the fibs here. It'll be the 2 spot actually. That we'd be looking towards. Yep, 175 long term, and then very long term, maybe over the next year or two, probably somewhere just north of $200. Looks very fucking good. I don't know what the hell this thing is, like what they do at Nucor Corporation, but it's good. Daily, it's just continuation. Hourly, continuation. You know, where's your last higher low? This one's a little bit more difficult. It's all the way down here at about 107, so it's kind of hard to like join this trade right here, but you could use the spike low from 11th of August, actually yesterday, as a bit of a base in point. So if it does take that area out, I'd be looking for, you know, a consolidation a little bit lower on a short-term time frame like 115, but this is very, very likely continuing here. It looks good, man. It looks good. It looks good, sir. All right, cool. Miguel says, I don't chart on the app. Oh man, you hate the most. I feel like I'm just a hater, man. I think I've been drinking too much haterade. Oh. Elsa thinks that's funny. Sorry, man. I apologize. I put in orders there. Okay, fair enough. That's it. I chart on desktop. KDJ actually seems to have reliable history of calling it. Hey, fair enough. Then you're the authority on that over me, man. I've never used that one. I've seen it, but I've never actually seen someone use it. I'm just curious. What does this look like? It's not in the built-in. It's not in the built-in. Hold on. Let me just make sure. Yeah, it is KDJ. Okay, I'm just going to plop in whatever this is, and let's just see. Looks interesting. It looks like a momentum oscillator. I'm not familiar with this one, though, so my opinion on this is irrelevant. It looks like, it looks like it's a short-term momentum oscillator, kind of similar to Stoics, gives you a bit of a bias on whether you want to be taking upside or downside scalps. Not bad. Actually, pretty good results here. Not bad. Maybe I should look in this one. You know what? Thank you, man. I'm going to do a little bit of research. I'm going to play around with that one. Maybe put it on like a low dollar account or something. Anyways, Cody USD, high term time frame, please. Okay. All right, let's check this one out over here. We haven't looked at this one in a while. Daily. Daily's kind of breaking through. Bit on the relatively weak side as far as altcoins go. But I do suspect that you will see a general continuation over the next week or two up to like 24 cent, wherever the 200 simple is at that point. Weekly, you know, following through, got the same setup right here. Again, a laggard, but probably does get to follow a bit. Hidden bullish evidence back above the exponential. If you close above the 21, I'd have no problem looking for a move towards like anywhere from like a quarter, maybe even as much as about 27 cent. But you know, one thing before the next. Short-term time frames. Where does it need to maintain above? Your last higher low is like way over here at 17 cents, so it does have a bit of a range there in short-term time frames, but needs to maintain that level. However, yeah, definitely not my favorite altcoin chart here. Definitely relatively weak, and I probably would be looking for a short-term consolidation of the downside here. Probably even does tag that 17.5 cent region, but you know, but on the weekly schedule, I'd probably be looking for continuation. So it sounds like you're more long-term oriented on this one. Monthlies, not very not very inspiring on the monthly, but hey, fair enough, man. If you know, as long as Bitcoin keeps it up, that one very likely does as well. Crypto sector says Fib retracement level from the 382 from bottom of bear market to top of bull market marks the second leg down on all cycles on a weekly time frame. We are currently at the 382. Please check. Okay, hold on. Let me just double check that I understand what you're saying here. All right, so you're talking about the whole damn cycle. Let's just go. Let's actually verify this first. Okay, so I believe you're talking about this. You're using a 382. Well, we actually don't have that. We actually don't have that. If I understand what you're saying properly, the 382 would be all the way at 20,700. Hold on. Let's just double check. Okay. Okay. The 382 from the bottom of the bear market to the top of the bull market marks the. Okay, you're taking this in the opposite way if you're looking for a bullish retracement. Just FYI, but it sounds like you're doing it like this then. In that case, I mean, it's not, no, okay, no, you do have it right. I think you just said it wrong, so that's why I'm getting tripped up here. Anyways, let's see if we reproduce exactly what you're saying. Anyways, the second leg, okay. Fib retracement, okay, from bottom of bear market to top of bull market marks the second leg down on all cycles. Oh, okay, so you're saying that it's the second leg down. Well, let's go verify this. Let me pull up a fresh chart over here. I'm gonna get rid of all this. Okay, so let's pull out this one over here, then I guess is what you'd be saying. Whoops. Hold on. I'm not sure if I can actually reproduce what you're saying. Okay. Still no. No. I'm sorry, man. I don't think I can reproduce what you're saying. You'd have to show me a chart because I don't. In the way that you've relayed that message, I don't see that. From bottom of bear market to top of bull market marks the second leg down on all cycles on the weekly time frame. The second leg down. So you're talking about, well, no, this is not the same right here because we didn't make new all-time highs, so that doesn't hold true right there. Let's see. Again, same thing. Like obviously that's not going to work right there. I don't think I agree with that. If I'm even doing it properly. So I think what you're doing is something like this. I think what you're probably doing is something like this. This is the only way that I can reproduce that the 382 even hit something of relevance. So what I did is I took the top of the 2018 cycle to the bottom of the 2015 cycle right here, and then the bottom of your 2018 cycle was 382. Okay, that's cool. Let's see if we can reproduce it on the one prior to that. Let's see. In this case, no, this would not follow through. This does not work right here. Only one iteration is not ever going to be good enough for me. Like maybe you're doing it like this or something. Maybe you're doing it like this, and you're counting this as a whole cycle, and you're counting this as one cycle right here. Maybe, maybe. But the problem is we don't know where the top of the cycle is just yet. So if that is true, which I would also argue that this is not the way to do it over here. These are two separate cycles. Yeah, I'm not sure. You'd have to show me a chart because I'm sure that you have something there. But I'm unable to reproduce it or properly interpret exactly what I think you're trying to say. Sushi Yum Yum says, ask a question, but it won't let me super chat. Doe, you're banned. It's down. What's down? Oh, the stream. Oh, his comment. Okay, I see. Okay, how do you feel about long-term hodl stacks if a long is a counter trade to a short? Wait, what? If a long is counter trade to a short, it's not risk management. So why do a lot of traders have a hodl stack for crypto they're trading? Well, I can't speak for everyone else, but I actually do have that myself. So why would you have that? Well, it's actually rather simple, man. Your trading stack is different than your hodl stack. Now, I basically ever since like 2018, I haven't taken any money out of the market and put it back into US dollars. I've just kept the profits in Bitcoin. And I call that like a hodl stack. And the reason why I do that is because, well, one, I have a long-term natural bullish bias on Bitcoin. I think that it's probably gonna be fine. And maybe it ends up to be zero, but who cares? At the end of the day, what I'm thinking there is that if I have that long-term hodl stack, and then let's say, for a time I'm not participating in trades, but Bitcoin's going up, I don't feel the same emotions of FOMO because I technically am always participating in long side trades. So your hodl stack is not to, at least in my use, is not to be conflated with the trading stack. So covering on your trading stack means it's irrelevant to the hodl stack. The hodl stack just it's there just to be a part of the market, just to participate and do it that way. I don't even consider it as mine. I look at it sometimes on my computer. I'm like, all right, that's cool that it's there, but I don't even consider it as like real money, to be honest with you. Anyways, so if I understand your question properly, which let me just read it one more time. How do you feel about long-term hodl stacks? I think they're fine. I think that it really helps a lot of people, myself included, not feel the fear of FOMO because you're technically always participating in upside moves. So to answer that question, that's what I'd say. If a long is a counter trade to a short, hold on, it's not risk management. Well, I don't trade around my hodl stack, to be honest with you, so I don't really care. Some people do, and yeah, technically it wouldn't be risk management, obviously. So why do a lot of traders have hodl stacks? I imagine probably for their own reasons, but if I had to relay my own, that would be it. Yeah, man, just you never know when Bitcoin does something that Bitcoin's gonna do, and a lot of the time, like on my for trading, I'm not like joining in on these very long-term moves. Every once in a while I will, but that's just a happenstance of like my prior positioning, which is probably intended as a range trade anyways, and then I just held like a small portion of it on the actual breakout. So that would be my reasoning, and I imagine people probably have somewhat similar as well. Is Bitcoin going to break down here? Is it going to do it? Is this the moment? Have we been too greedy? Could it be? Okay, J3F says, Dr. Krown, can we check out Ethereum any time frame? Sure. Any time frame leaves a lot open though. Let's see, we got a 4 hour right here. Let's see, let's take off drawing tools for a second here. It actually does look like it wants to come down a little bit. We do have bearish divergence right there. 4 hour jewel is giving a sell signal. I just want to see AutoFib support that, but that's a pretty damn good one. Target to the downside, we've got just under $3,000 if that does hit. Let's see, daily. Still, I don't really have any major issues with this long term. 5 day, fine. 3 day, Okay, 2-day, fine as well. Long term, it's fine, but it depends what time frame you're talking about. So if you are just saying any time frame, I'm going to kind of default to the regular ones. But short term, it does look like it wants to come down here, no doubt about that. Somewhere around like low $3,000, and I'll be looking for another higher low somewhere around there. Let's see, momentum oscillators right here on the daily. I still look at this as like a relatively healthy consolidation, but a massive range, to be fair. Yeah, I think I'll just leave it right there. Technically, your last low is right here, but I don't know if that's going to account for anything. Let's see if it shows on a buy hourly. No, not really. Not really. What about an hourly? Yeah, barely even there. Yeah, fair enough. All right. Let's see. Paranoid says red bottom, sticky fingers. There you go. Green tops, bad breath. It's in. It's fucking in, man. I got the bad breath of destiny right now. Chester Adlin says NFA. I know, not financial advice. I'm longing Bitcoin at the 200 SMA as a shorter. I think you mean shorter. Term trade next day or so. Stop loss at 44.547. Am I retarded? Am I retarded? Well, yeah, you have difficulty spelling, but that's fine. Many people do. So do I, man. So do I. I am a doctor, but thank you, kind sir. Is that a retarded move? Okay, it's all right. First off, apologies to anyone who's offended by the R word right there. But anyways, okay. So here's the thing. What do I think about that? It's fine for a setup, but honestly, man, look. What makes a good trade setup? A good trade setup is based off of some sort of strategy that you yourself have gone through and verified will actually work over time. How do you do this? Well, as I've stated before, you can reference a video on this channel, or you can make your own called the trade checklist, where basically you come up with your own strategy that identifies all the 3 moving parts that are essentially a part of a good strategy. That means entry, exit, and risk management. There's going to be a lot more other things included in that as well, which are included in the trade checklist, and you'll probably even want to add even more to that as well if you like actually take this shit seriously and you're not just like treating this as Vegas gambling. Fair enough, take that as well. I understand that some people, they just want something to do, and that's completely fine. To each their own, right? I think you might want to consider the financial consequences, but is that basically you're asking, is that a bad trade or not? Well, did you have a setup? I mean, does that play out like some sort of does that satisfy, does it fulfill some sort of a setup that you yourself have identified and back tested, realistically no less than fucking 50 times? I mean, preferably the more the better. Like 100 would be good when you're actually risking finances for these sorts of things. You might want to consider that as well. But if you haven't done that, then yeah, it is a bad setup because you're untested. You have no setup. Where's your target? You don't have any sort of target in there as well. So the problem with that is that it shows that you have not gone through and actually done that for yourself. And if you haven't done that for yourself, then this trade might work out for you, it might not, but long term, it will certainly not work out for you because it's untested. Now, I'm making an assumption here that it is untested, but it sounds like, especially given that you didn't, cover your targeted region, that there's maybe a few missing pieces of this potential strategy, and that's really no strategy at all. So I would say, fair enough. Just take that as you will. Hopefully done with respect, of course. But please understand, when you really want to get into like actual trading, you need to fucking do these things yourself. You need to do, like, the worst thing that I see in the Discord, the worst thing that I see in like any Discord or on Twitter is like people saying, should I long or short now? Like, what's your fucking setup? Like, what? Daddy's not always going to be there for you. Like anyone who who you're asking. I see this one guy in the Discord who's just like, very interesting guy, and he's always asking people, should I long or short? It's like there's not even like a time frame given, shit like that. It's an issue because long term you're just gonna get wrecked like that. There's no way that you're gonna survive long term like that, because you're always gonna be relying on someone else, and you just can't live like that, man. The idea is to be able to fish for yourself, not for you to like hire a fisher. So yeah, man. To answer your question directly, you don't have a target in there. You do have your risk management and you do have your entry. It's not the worst setup of all time. Would I take it myself? No, I wouldn't. I don't trade breakouts anyway, so yeah, I trade ranges. So take that as you will, man. Hopefully that was in some way helpful. Manuel Espinoza says, oh yeah, euro dollar. Let's check this one out. I'm gonna look at the euro dollar pairing rather than the dollar euro pairing because that's what you do trade. Where are we at? 117.5. Okay, so yesterday we said very likely a bounce off the lows, but this is probably not a macro low here. And we're getting a short bounce right now, and it probably does continue up a little bit more. I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing maybe tag around like 118. But this is very obviously a weekly downtrend right here. It's also got a monthly lower high, I believe, as well. No, it does not actually. Let's see what happens if we go to like the semi-annual. Okay, that actually looks completely different, actually, right there. I wouldn't necessarily say that it's like full on long-term bearish, but I do think that you have some more like long-term downside here after like a short, medium-term pop back up to 118 or so. This one's bearish as long as you're following the downtrend, and that's 118.9. So short-term, yeah, bounces back up here. Also kind of retested the last low from April 21 lows, and also Nov 2020. But well. Probably going to take its time. I mean, you could be looking at something like this long term. I don't know what time frame you're looking at on this one, but something like this long term perhaps would be a descending triangle, obviously, and we'd have this guy right here, and that would be a distributed pattern. Now, this would obviously take a very long time. I mean, you're not looking at resolution for another year, but and in the interim, you could probably even see another rally back up towards like 120 or something. But let's see. Did you? Oh no, you did give time frames. Okay, daily, weekly. Daily's bounce. Weekly. Also bounce first, 118, die later, maybe a year out or something. Whoops, nope, someone. Mr. Dan K, hello, sir. AXS USD. Oh man, this one was powerful. We looked at this on Elio Trades channel, and I said something along the lines of this is extremely fucking bullish. Well, without the F word though. He does not like that. He's a little more family-friendly channel. Anyways, still looking good here, man. I don't have any major issues with this. Yes, short-term might come down a little bit more to 59.5 or so. Still follows the uptrend, though. And as long as you're trading above the last sort of spike highs of this prior consolidation, 53.5, I look for a trend continuation still. Weekly's looking prime. Weekly's still looking good. Now, we did hit our we hit our like $72 target right there. A sell-off back down just below 65 is to be expected. What we like to see it right now is this one trade sideways, sitting a higher low somewhere in this mid 60 range, and then continue on a little bit later. I really wouldn't be surprised to see this thing hit $100 over the next, like, I don't know, 3 to 6 months. This is pretty damn good, man. This is probably the best chart on cryptocurrency land. We've seen a few other damn good ones thus far, but short term sideways, long term, I'd still be bullish on that one actually. Which sounds like you kind of are. Targets for top on this run, honestly, man, I think that one it depends how long term you are, right? And which I don't know in your specific case. Your next set of targets are basically like 95 to 100, but that's more long term. So again, I don't know how long you are there. Go like it says, Confucius say, if you go to bed with itchy bum, you wake up with smelly fingers. Exactly what we need to be focused on. That is exactly true, actually. That is exactly true. If you pick bottoms, you get smelly fingers. Exactly, my friend. Exactly. Well, it's true. You ever pick your bottom, sir? No. How do you get clean down there, then? Mark Morco, sorry. I butchered your last name there. Hey, Krown, could you please look at Legends of Crypto? Okay. All right. What is this? Oh, can't say I've ever... It's a game. Oh, that's kind of cool. Not much history here, but good on the breakout. Let's see, a little bit of a backfill on yesterday's open. Very aggressive on the short-term time frame, so I wouldn't mind a pullback down to like 15.5 cents or so. But you got your higher lows as long as you're about 14 cents on a spike low right there. Long term probably continues up towards 31 cent. Looking decent there. Let's see, on the daily, just wondering if it's due for a pullback or will continue higher. I mean, over over the next like couple months here, yeah, I do think that it continues higher. 30 to 31 cents is going to be an obvious area. Short term though, which sounds like maybe you're a little more angled towards, I wouldn't mind a pullback. Anything above 14 cents is just another higher low and looking pretty damn good. Just depends kind of what time frame you're looking at, but decent chart on the breakout here. Like very impressive. Volume signature is like textbook on this one. On that move back above your June highs right there. So looking good. I like it. Okay, cool. Let's see. Micah says, Matic 4-hour daily. Sure, man. Thanks, Dr. Krown. Dr. Krown at your service. All right, Matic, was it? Yeah, it was Matic 4-hour daily. Okay. So we did sell off of the 150 level right there. Let's see what the lower term timeframes look like. Again, short-term bit of sideways here. I'd be looking for higher lows anywhere above like 1.25 or so. As long as that happens, I'd be looking for a general upside glide to like 161, maybe as much as like 175 or so. It's good to see that this one's actually finally joining the rally, and the weekly looks pretty damn good here, but I'd be looking for a pullback sideways first, and then very likely another try to the upside. But not bad here. I just think it takes a little bit of sideways here. Momentum oscillators are a little bit spent, even a bit of regular bearish divergence on 4-hour RSI and 4-hour jewels. Pretty fucking up there, man. So looking for a bit of sideways, and then very likely, another higher low somewhere around about $1.25. That would look good, and then I'd be looking for the next drive to the upside, and with those tentative targets in mind at like 160 to 160 to 175. Damn, that's actually like quite the spread right there. But yeah, generally good over the long period of time. Expanding volatility alongside momentum, both on daily jewel and daily RSI. Yeah, I like it, man. I like it for more long-term continuation right there. Okay, cool. Matthew Stanislaw says Cardano versus Ethereum. Okay. All right. I used to be very inquisitive about Ethereum pairings, but now it kind of makes sense because a lot of things, there actually is some liquidity there. Although these charts just these charts just look ugly always, like they're never too obvious, but we do have something going on here, at least it would appear so. Maybe it's just some Jesus toast, but I do see higher lows on the daily specifically. And what would that imply? That would imply some sort of a reaccumulation formation, like an ascending triangle in this case. Let's see how it looks like over the long term. Yeah, it's probably fine here. Let's see, what time frames are we looking at though? 4-hour and daily. Had a great trade yesterday. Nice. How do you stay grounded when on a streak? Okay, we'll get to that after this first. It looks very like that, like it does want to break through here, and I'll be looking at a move back up towards, what is this, 61,800 butyrols, I guess, is the denominating currency. Short-term time frame is pretty aggressive right here. Could very easily have a short-term pullback to 54.5 or so, put in a higher lower, but ultimately daily still showing some upside here. Wouldn't be surprised to see this thing even give another run towards a topside resistance, but I don't think it's, which is much higher actually over, maybe over the next like month or two. But I don't think it's ready to break out just yet. I think it's spent some more time in here into like September, and then maybe sets up for a breakout later. Anyways, okay, so here's a question. All right, here we go. This is actually a really good one. I'm going to record this one. All right, so the question is from Mr. Matthew Stanislaw. I had a great trade yesterday. Nice, congratulations. That's awesome. How do you stay grounded when on a streak? That is a really, really good question. I know getting cocky will eventually get me burned. Yes, okay. Yeah, so this is where a lot of people, including myself, get tripped up. Because obviously when you're having good results, that is a good thing. And what happens when you have a good thing that, that happens within your life? Well, you typically get happy, and a lot of the time you can get carried away, especially if it is, early on in your career, and it's like you're going on a streak and you think, oh shit, I'm infallible, like I can't be stopped. I'm a fucking professional trader now. I'm making all the money. I'm a billionaire, cajillionaire. Well, fair enough, that's a fair plan. But the problem is that what actually made your trade successful? Well, what made your trade successful was following whatever setups that you had defined in your trading plan, assuming that you had one. So I'm making an assumption here, but I happen to know you, and I happen to know that you've been around this channel for a while now, so I suspect that you probably have, very, very likely. So that means you filled out something resembling, maybe even the exact same one as a trade checklist on this channel, which is 100% free. You can view it at any moment in time. You can also, make your own, but you basically have a strategy that's been back tested over time with at least 50 to 100 iterations, the more the better. And you have a history with statistics that support that strategy will work. Okay, so let's say you have that, which I'm going to assume that you do. And let's say that whatever strategy you're running has a 69% chance to win, because that's a great number. And that's actually a pretty fucking good strategy in my opinion. Anyways, okay. So what does that imply? It implies that, well, 31% of the time you will naturally lose. So statistically speaking, even though you had a streak, it is inevitable that you will at some point have some losses. So while it is, good to let yourself enjoy the results, what you should really get happy about, or what you should really be motivated by, or what you should really be disciplined to do, is to follow the strategy. Because what happens is when you start to let yourself get carried away by emotions, whether they be good or bad, which most people have the problem on the other side when they have a losing streak, right? When they have a losing streak, but on the other side with a winning streak, it's the exact same problem, just the other side of the coin. And what happens when you get carried away, emotionally speaking, mean is that you start to maybe shut down and veer away from your strategy, the one that was actually giving you these results. And then you start to do something that is outside of your strategy. And when you start to do that, then you start to fuck with the statistics of what is actually happening. So at that point, you can no longer trust in the statistical narrative that you set up with your strategy, and you can expect that over a longer period of time, things will probably not work out. Maybe you just create a new strategy anyways, and then you backtest that. That's a whole different thing. But I'm coming at this from the perspective of you've had some good gains. Now you want to protect them, and how do you protect them? You protect them by following the strategy over a long period of time, and then you can obviously feel your emotions. I'm not saying that you can't have emotions, because obviously we're human beings. We're going to naturally, it's just going to fucking happen. That's just the way that we're set up. It's our biology. It's inevitable. It is literally inevitable. But what will define you as a professional trader, and as more importantly a successful trader, which is even more important than being a professional trader, is that you are able to feel that emotion but still do what you were going to do anyways. So I always like to make the analogy with going to the gym, because I think most people can probably relate to this. Let me just turn down the volume here for a second here. God damn, that is loud. And a lot of people can relate to go to the gym. And when you're going to the gym, what do you need to do? Well, you need to have some sort of a workout plan, and also nutrition plan as well, but we're just going to, sidestep that for now. And when you go to the gym, what do you feel on a day-to-day basis? Well, sure, some days you're going to be like, oh shit, you're looking in the mirror, you're like, man, I'm fucking strong today. My biceps are looking big. I look like Z's, so this is great. Elsa thinks that's funny. I look like chest bra, so I'm powerful, and finally the girls are gonna like me. Well, that's great. That's fucking great, and that can maybe motivate you to go to the gym more. But on some days, you're naturally maybe not gonna get enough sleep, or you might just have a bad day. Maybe someone in your family died. Maybe you had like a serious life situation that puts you in a very, very bad headspace. At that point, you no longer have motivation, you no longer have good emotions, but you can still cultivate the discipline to continue and follow that plan. That's what you have to do in trading, and understand that those emotions, they're inevitable, they're gonna happen. Yes, at some, over a long enough period of time, they will, naturally somewhat subside, and you can identify them better and kind of, just work with them. But it's feeling the emotion and then not falling into the behavioral pattern of that emotion that is going to make you successful over time. So if you can do that, then, let yourself get happy. That's great. I mean, enjoy the times when you have a smile on your face. Obviously, life is short, right? But understand that the second that you let that influence your decisions, that's when you can no longer expect that your results will be, good any longer. So hopefully that was in some way helpful, and hopefully that addressed your question. So cool. And also congratulations. I mean, having a nice streak is always good. Reward yourself, man. Ayman Dean says Euro Colombian peso. Okay, so this is I have never looked at Colombian peso, I have to say. Euro is a rather exotic pairing here. Let's see what it looks like. Looking good for the euro. Looking very good for the euro. Holy shit. Apparently I've charted this one too. I don't know how long ago this was, but powerful. Breakout right here. I'm looking for much higher prices, man. This is a textbook ascending triangle. You got reaccumulation, and I'd be looking towards 5,000 euro Colombian pesos. Looks fucking good, man. All momentum offset is bullish. Monthly, phenomenally bullish. Hidden bullish divergence all the way around. Volatility hasn't even started expanding yet either. This is good. Trend continuation is the name of the game on the macro scale. Powerful euros. Powerful euros, sir. Enjoy your euros. All right, cool. Let's see what else we have. Nacho Fiat. What's up, man? CRO long 3 month. Okay. You're looking at a quarterly. Is there a quarterly to be done? Are you talking about this? I'm guessing you're talking about this. Maybe you're talking about the stock. If you're talking about the stock, let me know, or let Elsa know. Okay. Can we even make a quarterly on this? I think that this one's only been from Sir, you okay? You okay? L7 of Laugh Attack.
Definitely new people.
Definitely new people here. Oh, this is good. New people here, get ready, pull your pants down, and receive further ramming from your boy. And by your boy, I mean Elsa. Here she comes. Get your little girthy red dildo out of my face, sir. Hey, no. There's not enough on the quarterly here to analyze, man. I'm sorry, but if you're asking me, what the quarterly looks like, there's nothing here really going off of. Maybe we could use a monthly. Monthly looks good. Monthly, monthly is a general uptrend. over a long period of time, going back to February 2019. I'd be looking for this one to pop up to like 20 cents over the next, I don't know, 3 months or so, if that's what you're asking. But short term, you know, there's going to be ebbs and flows. Probably even comes down and puts another high or low. But long term, you know, good. It's fine. All right, cool. Let's see. Aaron Depp, what's up, man? Good morning. Good morning, Sir Krown. Good morning to you as well. Just Dr. Krown today. Good morning, Mr. Sir Aaron, though. A friend from the East Coast, okay, who watches this show in the morning, asked for your thoughts on okay, that's FTX's token, FTT, 5 years plus. It hasn't even been around for 5 years, man. Analyze this thing that's been around for a year for the next 5 years. I don't fucking know. My crystal ball is broken. Like, what the hell, man? Look, FTX, they have a good thing going. Obviously, they're doing all the right things. Sam Bankman-Fried is obviously trying to take over the world, and he's probably going to succeed. But morning, Jonathan. Good morning, Jonathan. Hey, what the fuck, Jonathan? This thing's been around for 2 years, and you want 5 years analysis on this? What the hell? If you want to look at like a 5-year analysis on this, I want to see at least double that, you know, in its actual trading lifetime. Anyways, it doubled pretty fast. Looking for entry. Oh dear lord, man. Oh dear lord. Okay, I almost feel like I should probably not answer this, but look. I have to go down to a daily to get anything that makes sense as far as the chart goes. It's very likely to pull back from here, probably like $44, maybe even as low as like 41 or sorry, 42. 44 would be an obvious target, maybe as much as like 42. Anyways, if you're asking for a 5-year analysis based off of this is a 12-hour, based off a daily anyways, this is not, look, I can't give you a good faith opinion on that, man. It's a nice uptrend for now, but this is not enough to do any long-term analysis on. Like, the monthly barely populates the weekly. It's good, but you're asking for an entry for a 5-year long trade. Who wants to break it to him? Look, man, if you're just asking me to analyze the daily, do you think it probably pulls back a bit? 44 to $45 is fair game, but other than that, man, I don't have an analysis for you on a 5-year time frame. It's an uptrend for right now, but you don't really have much to work with, so I feel disingenuous saying anything more than that, man. But one of the better looking charts for altcoins. All right, cool. Mural Gandhi says, Unity Software. Okay, daily, weekly. All right, this should be a regular stock. It is. Yes. All right, some real shit over here. Oh, god damn it. It looks like a fucking crypto. Are you kidding me? It very likely gets continuation here, man. Like 128 to 129 region, then pulls back. Breakout's real. Looks good. Looks good. Maybe a short-term pullback, depending upon what time frames you're looking at, which you're not. You're not looking at any short-term time frames. Daily's continuation, weekly's continuation. I'll be looking for 130 or so. Maybe more over time as well. But I'd like to see that first target hit. This looks, you know, decent. It's a real breakout. I respect the breakout, sir. Respect the breakout indeed. Yeah, very, very lovely on a 4-hour right there too. Okay, cool. Style Tears says, how can someone spot an exit pump? Okay, how can you spot an exit pump? Well, first off, you have to be trading like some sort of a shitcoin, like a real gutter shitcoin, because that's, you know, where exit pumps typically happen. Like, if that's what you mean, like, to me, exit pump means like last scam pump before this thing just dumps down to like zero. So you're basically talking about a pump and dump. I don't think that there's really like a humongously good way of doing it. The reason why I say that is because those pump and dumps typically happen so fast that like there's not really like any indicator. I think that you just need to know whoever the operator is and just ask them when they're fucking dumping at that point, because a pump and dump, like, that's the whole narrative of them, is that happens very, very fast. You don't really get like a good chance or a good signal to kind of get out. I'm sure that someone would argue, elsewhere, but then I'd like to also ask you to provide, a series, not just one, but a series of like 20 exit pumps that you've correctly identified in the moment, because I don't think that I could do it, and not just because I don't think that I could do it, that other people couldn't do it, but it's just like they just happen really fucking fast. I don't think that there's an easy way to do that, man. So an exit pump, again, we need to define terms here, but I assume you're talking about basically pump and dump scam coins. I don't think that there's a good way to do it. I don't think there's a good way to do it. I think the only way that you could do is maybe look at the history and understand, okay, is this a pump and dump or not, based off the history? If it is, then even historical levels, I don't even think work out that well. So, I don't have a good answer for you, man. I apologize, but I don't have anything I don't think useful. Okay. Chester Adlin's back. BitBoy Crypto shilled Audius, pumped it where could be a good spot to DCA on a pullback to hold until end of year. Man, you are really financial advice. Look, man, I can't give you straight up financial advice, nor do I want to. I can give you my opinion on this thing. What do I think it'll pull back to? I mean, easy pullback targets like 138 or so. Very easy to manage around there. Wherever the 200 simple is a little bit below that, which is rising up. Short term, yeah, probably does come back down, maybe like 135 or so. If you want to hold it towards the end of the year, I mean, there's no promises this thing's going to be great till the end of the year. Fair enough, you know. enjoy your audio tokens, I guess. Audio tokens. We can now listen to our music on the blockchain, which is way different than listening to it not on the blockchain. The songs are all different. Sounds like a really top-notch project, sir. Ofair Bentov says, hey, what's up, man? Been killing it with the EMS strat in the program. Nice. Very happy to hear. The program's helped me a lot. Well, great, man. I'm glad to hear that. Can you take a look at CRV 4-hour daily? Sure, man. CRV USD. You're looking at Curve Finance. You said 4-hour and daily. That just seems to be everyone's favorite. Short term, a little bit of a bouncy area, but if it does dump out a little bit more, I'd be looking towards 184.5 daily. Daily, this is definitely not a relatively strong coin. This would be relatively weak, certainly. I might actually be looking for that target lower, like 180. What was it? 187. Or was it 4-hour? Yeah, 187 or so. Probably be looking for a bounce right there. But I'm not a fan of this chart, man. I mean, this is definitely not. This is definitely not a good chart long term. You know, if the market's going to go up, this one will follow, but it won't follow as much into the downside. It's going to overwhelm with its performance. I don't like this chart, man. Short term, a little bit of sideways, a little bit of down. Needs to hold above 187. Otherwise, I'd actually be looking for this rally to be erased down to like 155, 157 or so. But not the most obvious chart. Definitely not the best chart. It's going to really take a strong Bitcoin and Ethereum to bring this one back up. And right now, Bitcoin's dancing with its little death zone once again. So stay safe, sir. Stay safe indeed. Yes. I did do the crypto. Yes. God damn it! It was CO or crypto, not the stock. Yes, I did do the crypto, sir. I did do the crypto, not the stock. All right, let's see what else we have over here. Donnie Bowling, what's up, man? Next show, I want to see Elsa sitting in the stair. And Krown ring. I'm actually don't have a chair here. Look, I can move around. It's a standing desk, man. I don't like sitting down. It's a bunch of bullshit, sir. But Elsa did say she will do a face reveal if this channel gets to 100,000 subscribers before. Is it before my birthday or before end of year? Lol, it's before lol, so it's not happening. Well, there goes that. Neoneb. Yeah, before when? We need a time frame, sir. Oh, so it's just any time. All right. Okay, fair enough. No, I do not know math, actually. Math is math is weird, sir. Neoneb says CSPR. CSPR. This is not CRISPR. This is Casper. Casper. It's a sleep corporation. I like that. Whoa, bad. Very fucking bad, man. Let's see. What time frame's he on? 1 hour and 4 hour. Trying to learn ascending. Is this an ascending triangle? There is nothing ascending about this. The only thing ascending is the inverted price action chart. This is terrible, dude. What the fuck? Okay, hold on. Oh, sorry. Jesus Christ. I'm confusing two different chats with each other. Sorry about that, Neoneb. 1 hour and 4 hour, please. Well, daily's wrecked. 4 hour is bounce. Probably bounces back up, maybe like 6.25 to 6.30 or so. Hourly, yeah, probably bounces here. 6.10 on the hourly is an easy target. 4 hour, maybe a little bit more. Long term, terrible. Just awful. Fucking piece of garbage. Terrible chart. Walker Home Solutions, hello, sir. QNT, 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute. You bastard! 1 hour and 4 hour. All right, let's check it out. Quant USD. Whoops. I can't. I know math and also spelling very difficult for me. It's like, what am I good at? Nothing. Where the fuck is good chart for this one? Kraken. No. Where is it? KuCoin. That's it. This is KuCoin. Oh. Okay, fair enough. Short term down. I'd be looking for this one to come down to like 141. But you asked about what, a 4 hour and an hourly actually. Is it an ascending triangle? No, it's not. It's a nothing. It's a Jesus toast here, but I would be looking for this one to come down to like 140 to 145 region short term. Yeah, so maybe things do come down a little bit here. Maybe Bitcoin does come down to like 43.5 or so. But I would be looking for a bounce off that level. I don't hate this chart long term. It's a good chart long term. It's fine. It's fine, sir. All right. Elsa's sign in the background, so that always means good things. What are we looking at? I actually just want to double check here on the 4 hour. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say I'm bearish on this, but I do think you got a little bit of short term downside. All right. Let's see. Yeah, is there an ascending triangle or wedge on the 4 hour? Neither. It's a Jesus toaster. For the most part, if it's not obvious, for a formation, it's probably just Jesus toast. Michael Stein, what's up, man? Welcome to the cave, sir. What the fuck does this mean? Has Krown ever asked you to get him some blinker fluid for the car? Actually, we don't have a car, man. The nice thing about living in Helsinki, you just can walk. I don't even know what the fuck that means. I have no idea. Joe Volpis, are you single? She is. She's very, very single. And if you could just slide into the DMs right now, we can entertain possibilities of bachelor suitors. Joe Volpis, in it to win it. No More Paper says, had stop loss on Cardano at 175. 10 seconds wick on Kraken went to 150, then right back to 180. This shot right through my stop and sold me at 150. Can you offer an explanation on why this happens? Yeah. Okay, so how did that... First off, your name is... More Paper, great name. Okay, so how did that happen? All right, well, illiquid shitcoin markets on Kraken, very, very classic shit, because Kraken always has like these nasty wicks that go every which way. Anyways, what very likely happened is that your stop loss got hit, but the real liquidity on your stop loss, which was probably a stop market, I'm guessing. You could avoid this with the stop limit. However, there are issues with that as well, with like not getting filled, which is an even worse problem. But the issue there, or what happened with you very likely, is that those illiquid markets had a quick wick up, and then there was no liquidity down until 150, so it marketed you down to 150 where the actual liquidity was. Probably someone saw your actual stop loss and then just fucking took you out, so. Happens, sir. Walker Home Solutions, DEXE BUSD, okay. What is this? DEXE BUSD. Oh, another Binance shite coin. Not so bad, though, at least on the 4 hour. Oh, no, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. All right, range trade the pumps over 2 to 6 days. Wait, range trade the pumps over 2 to 6 days. I don't know what you mean by that, but maybe you just mean like what's the range on the daily? Yeah, it'd be between here and here. I guess if you're just looking to range trade this, if like you have a time frame on that for the next 2 to 6 days, I'd actually generally agree with that, just because I don't think that this thing's doing anything interesting anytime soon. It's going to go sideways here. It's kind of in the middle of the range, so it's not really going to be too helpful, but around here, probably get a pullback. Around here, probably get a bounce. Not the most titillating chart of all time, but I also am not exactly sure what you mean. So fair enough. There we go. All right, there you go. Chris DeLisa, what's up, sir? Dr. Krown, sir. Hey, finally. Good morning to you, man. XRP daily, weekly, end of month. Okay, what do you mean end of, like into the end of the month? All right, let's see. Back around $1. Hey, not bad. Even the Ripple gets to join the party as well. Yeah, this one actually relatively easy here. Golden cross on the daily. Going to be happening with any sort of a closure today above 98 cents. And while I do think that it could trade a little bit down short term, could easily come down to like 90 to 91 cents. That's still just a higher low on the 4 hour, and daily is a clear breakthrough. And I would be looking for general continuation, probably up, another test somewhere right around. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. So you're looking towards end of month. Let's actually look for a weekly on this one. Yeah, so I'd be looking for a pullback here first, into the end of the month. Where can we get some good levels on this one? Yeah, I'd probably be looking at about 119 to 120. Yeah, 119 to 120. 5 day looks pretty damn good here. So this would be the chart that I'd be following because it's the only one that actually makes sense. Again, short term, sideways, a little bit of sideways action, probably test a little bit of downside, but I would be looking for another drive to the upside, into the end of the month. This one's actually fine right there. Lime, appreciate that, sir. Feel free to have a message as well, though. Cole Bashor says, Luna daily chart, sir. Yes, we haven't looked at this one today. I remember this one had one of the better charts for altcoins. Luna US derp. Okay, Binance. You're looking at what time frame? At a daily. Okay, so we did hit our target right around, yeah, we did hit our $18 target. Not bad. I would be looking for a pullback, but do not confuse pullback with like a dumbola, but down to like 15 to 15 and a half would be fair game. That'd still just be in a 4-hour high or low here. I do like this chart still on the weekly, but I'd be looking for a bit of sideways and a little bit of downside from here, and then maybe sets it up in, you know, later this month or something. Elle's having a good time, baby. Oh, I can't with these comments. Trolling Elsa is like the best thing about dating her, actually. Generally good though. Generally fine. Yes.
Fuck off.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, there we go. Lime's got a comment now. Okay, ACH USD 4 hour. Okay. ACH. Okay. Maybe Coinbase. And what time frame are we looking at here? We're looking at a 4 hour actually. Okay. Looks like it's just trading sideways on the hourly. Same thing on the 4 hour. I don't really have much to work off on this one, man. You know, it's a little bit too young, but granted the majority of this market, we're kind of ranging right now. So I'll just be looking at a range here, just sideways. You know, your downside of the range is like what? Just below 8 cents. Top side of the range is just right around about 12 cents or so. If this thing trades above your 11th of August highs, I actually would be looking for a nice little breakout up to about 14 and a half, but not really much to go off of here. Just sideways is kind of what I'd be looking for. So hopefully that was helpful, but I understand that's, you know, not too much right there. Not really getting anything from momentum oscillators because we can't even populate them, unfortunately. It's too young, man. Too young. Panyok says, can you check out VET and or VTHO? No need to yell at me, sir. No need to yell at me. Okay. Just one at a time as well. Oh my God, we're already 2 hours into this. What the fuck? God damn. What do we have here? Okay, you're looking at a dollar sign. I think you meant 4 hour and daily. All right, higher lows as long as you're above about 10 cents. You know, short term, a little bit of sideways. As you know, as long as this thing's about to get a golden cross like confirmed today with any sort of a closure above 9 cents. You know, as long as you're above 9 cents, and you can test back down around there on a 4 hour. I'd be looking for higher lows and then general sideways and up. You know, 13 cents is going to be the next technical target on this one. It looks decent here. Hopefully Josh is still paying attention to this one because this one's actually got a decent setup going on. Hidden bullish divergence on the weekly, but you already hit your targets on that one. So the more aggressive targets can be much higher, but I wouldn't feel comfortable saying that just yet. Short term, sideways and up, can very easily test a little bit of short term downside, but the daily is what I'd be watching right here. It looks good. Actually looks good for a little bit of a move, maybe over the next like couple weeks. Again, somewhere around like 13 cents. About 13 cents or so would be the natural area. Okay. Let's see. Zane Storm. Hey man, no need to fucking yell for the love of God. ETH, please. Good sir. No time frames given, so I don't really know where to go with this one, but we'll just do like a 4 hour daily as typically what people want to know. Like, what do you say on that? I mean, he's got higher lows even on the short-term time frame as long as you're above 30.70. But my fear is that this one's going to actually take that area out to the downside. If that happens, I would be looking for a short-term move to like just below 3,000. But I would be looking for a bounce there. And I still like this chart, man. I really need to be careful with what I say here because I'm not bearish on these charts. Just a little bit of short-term downside is okay. Same thing on Bitcoin as well if it wants to do it. But long-term, you know, still looking at a target of 33 to 3,400. In fact, we pretty much hit our 3,300 target. So realistically, it's like a 3450 target. Let's pull up our, somewhere around 3,450 actually. Probably for the next couple of weeks here. Still looking decent though, man. Short term, doesn't want to come down and put in a higher low at around, you know, $3,000. That'd be completely fine. Below 2950, that's where problems actually do start to occur, and you could look for greater pullbacks down to like 2650, to 2,600 or so. But for right now, man, a little bit of sideways, probably test a little bit of downside and sets it up like maybe coming in next week or the week after that. Let's see what else do we have today. Super Ghoulie says, hello sir, what's up man? How are you doing today? All right man, I got a good night of sleep this week, and I've got a good night's sleep this week, today, last night, and also every day this week. It's actually been pretty damn good, man. Can you take a look at Cardano BTC? Yeah, we actually haven't looked at this pairing just yet. We've looked at all other ones I think that are imaginable. What do we have here on what time frames? Daily, please. Daily's looking good on the breakout. I would be looking for this one to trade a little bit of sideways on the daily and then up towards about 4150 or so. 4 hour, nice consolidation right here. Wouldn't mind if it came down to like 3750 in the short term. That's completely fine. But if you're just specifically asking about a daily, breakout's real. I'd be looking for general continuation towards 4150. Weekly's fine. General uptrend here. and weekly hidden bullish divergence. So yeah, somewhere around about 4150 to actually 4200 or so. Looking decent there. Okay, cool. Let's see. Stock here says Ocean USD daily weekly. Sure. Okay. All right. I don't think we've looked at this one in a few minutes here. Go to Binance on this one, and you're looking at a 4-hour and you're looking at daily weekly. You're looking at a daily and weekly. Let's see. Weekly, decent setup right here, although it's not looking too hot on price action, to be fair. Let's see what the daily looks like. Okay, the daily reveals it. A little bit of a short-term pullback. That's completely fine. As long as you're above 58.5 cents, I look for this one to trade sideways and up from here. I don't think it's going to break out today, but probably tomorrow, like Friday, into the weekend, I'd be looking for a move towards like 80 to 81 cents or so. One actually looks okay here. 5-day. Yeah, they're not giving me too much on those time frames, but it would be very bad. However, I do feel compelled to say it would be very bad to come back down below about 58 cents. That would imply this rally is going to fail all the way back down, like well below 45 or so. But for now, all good. Okay, cool. Michael Stein says, good morning to you, Sue. Please explain to me how the moon is bearish. Is that a joke? Oh, well, actually, it's a little bit of a joke, but you can also look at the history of it yourself. So over here on this chart, we can see all of the moons, both full moons and I don't know what the other one is called, but I don't even know enough about astrology to talk about this. But basically, there are dark moons and white moons. The white moon's bullish, the dark moon's bearish. And right now, we got a bearish moon right here. Look, you can back this yourself. I'm not going to go through the explanation of it because I'm not the best person to do it. I'll let the Marin witch do it. Or she's much more equipped to do something like that. But for myself, I don't know, man. The results of this pretty damn good. So is it a joke? I mean, it's a little bit of a joke, but at the same time, the results have not been a joke. Take that as you will. Take that as you will, sir. King Cosmic says, hi, sir. Please. Oh, there he is. I thought you weren't going to be here today, but you are. You are indeed. Let's see what Spy's looking like right now. Where's my Spy? 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 Where did it go? Are you fucking kidding me? Where is it? There it is. Found it. All right, 44 at 36. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm on the wrong goddamn chart. Go. Looking at Spy moons. Oh, dear Lord. What have we come to? What have we come to? 44.36. Daily's looking good. 4-hour short-term pullback. Can easily come back down somewhere around 44.30. Anywhere around there is fine. Daily still fine though. I'll still be bullish on this one. Nothing bearish about this on the daily as long as you're above 44.20. Yesterday's yet again higher low. I don't know, man. Hasn't really been a winning trade to be bearish on this one. But short term, yeah, a little bit of a pullback. Ultimately though, this is just a stair step to the upside. You got higher lows as long as you're above 44.30. So anything there is fair game, but sideways and up is the name of the game still. I know this one looks crazy. It will have a pullback at some point, but I don't think we're there just yet. Maybe not just yet, sir. Okay, hey, Mr. McCann, how you doing, man? Hello, Dr. Krown. Hello, Mr. McCann. Hope all has been well. All is hopefully well. You never know until it's over. Just stopping by to say, hey, appreciate that, man. Holy shit. Thank you, sir. I salute you, man. Thank you for that positive message. It's really, really nice. Let's see. Matt, who knows, says, can you TA a million token, please? Ticker is MM. Oh, dear Lord. I think that this is like the tech lead token. I don't think it's on TradingView. Yeah, it's not on TradingView, man. Unfortunately, I can't look at things that are not on TradingView. I know, obviously, we could go to like CoinDerpoCap. I really dislike doing this, though, man. I really dislike doing this. It's not helpful. I won't have anything useful to say about this. This is a waste of your time, to be honest with you. Million token. What are we looking at right here? Looks like shit. Looks like a shitcoin. I don't know what else to say about it, man. I don't have anything useful to say about that chart. It looks bad, but I don't have any of my tools. I don't even know how long it's been around. It's just unhelpful, man. So I have to apologize for that because it's just I don't think I said anything that's useful there. Echo Krown has beautiful eyes. Never noticed until now. Thanks. I appreciate that, man. Echoes the End says, Dr. Krown, hello, sir. I know you're not a doctor of veterinary medicine, but can you take a look at my bird? I fucking hate birds, man! Holocaust the birds. They're awful. The birds are the worst. Fucking brownie stealing pieces of shit. 4-hour and daily. Well, the hourly is okay. Daily's pretty good. Yeah, daily sideways and up. Very similar chart here to a lot of the other better looking altcoins. Wouldn't be surprised to see this one go for another run towards like 17.5 cent. 4-hour. That could very easily test some downside, but again, sideways and up. Higher lows as long as you're above 11.5 cents. So kind of a wide range here. Wouldn't be surprised to see it like stab down to like 13.5 cent and try for a higher low there. But daily, I think daily continues on here. At least that'd be my disposition for now. Pretty damn good on the 5-day and weekly, all right as well. All right, what else we have? Brian Price, hello, sir. Dr. Krown, possible to check. L's Milk, L's MLK. Okay, this is, what the hell is this? Motherfucker! I got trolled. Hold on, did I get trolled? Let's go check out on, now I need to know. L's. Oh God, it's fucking Elsa Milk. Oh, that's so embarrassing. I couldn't even catch it myself. I thought it was like an elk milk coin, or like, I don't know, maybe he's very organic, you know, he likes granola and shit, and he's like, when you milk the elk's titties, you get some very quality milk. Like, what the fuck? Chester Adlin says, woo! Bitcoin. I find the key to trading success accepting Jesus Christ as your personal savior. That's right, man. Let Jesus take the wheel and manage your risk for riches until the end of time.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord. Amen. Give it up for Bull Jesus.
Yeah.
Do you feel Bull Jesus in the room right now? I feel Bull Jesus. Can you feel Bull Jesus coming inside of you with his girthy green dildos? I feel Bull Jesus. Bull Jesus, show me your boolah hands. Give me the prayer of the Lord. Bull Jesus. Bull Jesus, amen. Let me hear you say it. Bull Jesus, amen. Bull Jesus, amen. Bull Jesus, amen. Fill me with your girthy green dildos, Bull Jesus. We love you, Bull Jesus. Hallelujah. Have you heard the good word of Boolah Jesus? Have you heard the word?
All the new people gone.
And all new people have left now. Okay, this is great. Just you and me now. Just you and me. And this is the end of the stream. Go fuck yourself. Just kidding. Bull Jesus loves you. Let him take the wheel. Let him manage your risk and also your trades. Go 69x to glory. Bitcoin here. Nothing really new to say. I wouldn't mind a move down to like 43.5 or even 43,000 bucks even, but still in an uptrend for right now. Basically, as long as Bitcoin's closing dailies above the 200 simple, I'm not bearish. I'm just looking at this as putting a nice little constructed base, and we will inevitably be getting the golden cross, not today, not tomorrow, but probably Saturday or Sunday, assuming that Bitcoin just doesn't dump and close below 45,000 bucks, which is mostly in line with the 200 simple right there. If we go over here to our momentum charts to see if anything's changed, we see hourly Stokes are technically up right now, but needs to close above 45.5 in order to maintain with its upside trajectory. But the spot price action says, yeah, same thing. Buy hourly is going to show what? 46.3. 3 hours going to show what? 46.5. 4 hours going to still be 46.4. So if Bitcoin does fail to essentially hold it right here, Barrows will have a bit of a chance, but ultimately, I'd mostly be watching the daily right now. 12-hour. If things do dump down, 12-hour 21 is going to be a first target on that one. But sideways is still more or less fine, more or less good. As long as Bitcoin again is above the 200 simple right here, I'd probably just end the stream on this. I'd still be looking for Bitcoin to go sideways and up. General targets toward 49,000 to 50,000 bucks. Confirmation on new upside trending move or just extension of this current trend above 46,800. Below 10th of August low would be a little bit problematic, but still, higher lows as long as we're above what? As long as we're above 43.5, even on the medium term time frame. So with that said, I think it's a good time to shut it off. And I will be back on maybe later with a shorts video, assuming that we have a resolution of this range, whichever way that it does go. And tomorrow we'll be back on for another live stream. So with that said, take care. I hope this one serves you well, and hopefully see you very soon.
Write it, code it, name it, tweet it, mine it, stack it, live it, dream it, post it, scan it, charge it, send it, do it, and receive it. Trade it, buy it, sell it, store it, run it, list it, first rename it. Crypto logic. Pump it, hack it, lose it, dump it, sell it, ditch it, XR, pitch it, copy, paste it, nudge it, test it, build it, try it, bend it, fork it, hype it, pump it, dump it, rinse, repeat, but quick relocate. Faucet, list it, send it, burn it, pump it, hack it, quick rename it.